Hello, my name is Ashley Robinson, and I am a student here at Drake State Community and Technical College pursuing a degree in Business Administration Management. I am before you today to present our speaker, Commissioner Violet Edwards. Commissioner Edwards has a proven track record for advocacy, service, and leadership that has directly impacted Huntsville and the residents of Madison County's District 6. She was elected to office in 2020, becoming the first Black woman to serve on the county commission. Violet is most known in the local nonprofit sector for her tireless work in various agencies, including Christmas charities, Year Round, and the North Alabama Coalition for the Homeless. Violet draws from a long list of unique career experiences that included a 13-year journalism career, both television and radio, nonprofit management, working from the home as a stay-at-home mom, university marketing, coordinating events, an adjunct lecturer, and a university development officer. She has served as a leader in many organizations and has been graced with many honors and awards. Violet holds a bachelor's degree from the University of Alabama, an MBA from the University of Alabama in Huntsville. She is married to Anthony Edwards. Together, they have 3 beautiful children. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Commissioner Violet Edwards.
The melanin is popping.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. We are here for the students. Like, we have so much in store for all of you right now because it is Black History Month. So I have a special guest with me right now. Her name is Violet Edwards. She is the first African American to sit as a commissioner in Madison County.
Hello, and thank you so much. Nice to meet you, Mr. Baker. And I'm excited to just be able to share a little bit with the students.
Now, may I call you Miss Violet?
Absolutely.
Violet, I'm gonna just cut straight to it. All right.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna butter this up real quick. What was it like to be the first?
So when I won, it didn't really feel like the first. It felt like I had worked incredibly hard for 12 months and there was a victory. So when I got to this, I told my family, okay, 6 months, I'm going to run this campaign, win, lose, we're going to see what can happen. And then 6 months got dragged out to 12 months. And, after the 12-month year, everybody was just like, can we please just vote already? And so when I won, it was just a big sigh of relief. We did it, and we got to see all of our hard work, come into fruition. And I was ready to hit the ground running, less work. It wasn't really about celebrating. I had been talking about it for a year. I'm ready to work. And I really had to back and say, it's not about me. It is about so many people who worked so hard to get me there. It is about, the little old lady who donated $10 to the campaign. And she was just like, my little chocolate, my chocolate grandbaby, go do it, So it wasn't about me. So I had to take a step back because even if I didn't want to just celebrate and jump up and down, I needed to let the people who supported me, who had worked years, I wasn't the first lady to run. I wasn't, so to just let everybody who saw this day coming, it took 212 years for us to get here, to let them celebrate. And then I get to work and do what I had to do. So it wasn't just about me, and it's still exciting. I'm still excited just sitting here talking about it.
Feel any pressure? Did you feel any pressure from like the community or maybe anybody around you saying, Miss Edwards, you're Black, you have to represent? Did you have those type of conversations during your campaign trail?
It came up sometimes, but the campaign and the conversation did not stop there because I really needed to focus on my record, what I could do, what I felt like we could accomplish. And that conversation was bigger than race, and it was bigger than party. So while the conversation might have started out one way, I also just had to sell the dream and to sell the vision and not just sell the vessel. And that's where we are now.
Wow, so let's talk about that. What do you consider to be the reason or the deciding factor in breaking the ceiling and stepping into this opportunity to serve in your position?
I have been working in nonprofits forever. As long as I can remember, I've been a volunteer. And then in my professional life, I started a nonprofit and I've run a nonprofit and I've grown a nonprofit. So it's just kind of in my DNA growing up and watching my mother. So when I decided to run, it was really just an extension of the service that I've done forever. And about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I became politically active in just paying attention to what was going on with the world around me, not just in the nonprofit world, but just why are things happening the way they're happening. And I just woke up one summer and I told my husband, I was like, let's do it. There were so many things I wanted to see accomplished. And it wasn't about asking anybody else to do it. It was stuff that if I want it, let's go for it. I know how to do it, and I know that I could, there was support around me and people to lift me up. And if all of us work together, this is where we can get. And that's really how it started with me saying, let's not ask anybody else. Why don't we just try to do it ourselves? And if we do it, then we know that at least somebody's working towards the outcome.
Now, Miss Violet, when you had this revelation, what broke the straw on the camel's back? What event took place in your life that made you say, I want to step into politics and walk away from the nonprofit world?
There were several things. I think just when you get to a feeling of hopelessness and you just really don't like what's going on around you, you can sit around and you can complain or you can do something. Now, everybody's calling is not politics. And I'm not even really sure that's my calling right now, but I do know that I have a dream and I have a vision. And I know that using this seat could help me get what I feel like the community needs. So that's where we are now. It's almost to the point where I was just like, I see other parts of the community growing. I see this happening here and this happening there. And I know this money is here. And why isn't it happening? And let's not complain. Let's just go see what we can do about it.
When you hear you say, I had a dream, it really makes me think about Martin Luther King. What was it really does? What was that dream that you had? And how are you manifesting that dream now in your role?
So the dream was pretty much just everything that my community has been asking for. There is so much. Well, right now, just during the time of COVID and and the financial hardships, this wasn't even taking place when I decided to run. And there were still needs then that people said, hey, this is what we want to see. This is the program we would like to have. And it seemed like we got the answer. A lot of was no, or the answer was we don't have the money for it, we don't have the budget for it, or what they want didn't necessarily align with other folks thought we deserved or to what we should have. And I just felt like my community is as good as any other community, any place, and we deserve what we want just like any other place. So let's work hard for it. And from the nonprofit world, I knew that there were pots of money out there that as a nonprofit leader that I could not access. However, as a government official, I could access. And so I just had to get into this space to at least see what else was out there, to see if what I thought was out there was really true. And
And
it
when you
is.
think about it, your background helped teach you how to serve. Because when you work in the nonprofit sector, you're serving communities that may be impacted by world events, tragedies, people that may need resources and help. You know what it takes and what it means to meet a need.
Right. And you know what it means to listen. And that's where it starts. I can have the biggest plan in the world, but if that's not what the community wants, am I really doing any good? So my background in first just listening and then going out and pursuing has really served me well.
Sometimes when we're making plans, we bump into challenges. Did you face any challenges as a Black commissioner or anywhere in your career that you had to triumph over?
I just think that life is a challenge. The challenges that I've had so far, I don't think have been because of race. I don't think it's been because of of gender. Possibly some part, possibly political party, but it is really, I've stepped into a space that I've personally just never been in, and people have to get to know me, and they have to learn my ways and what makes me tick, as well as I have to learn theirs. And so it's almost just like what any of our students watching would have to go through. If you go to a new school or if you start a new job, you're just a new kid, and it really isn't about your race or your gender. It's just you're the new kid, and you just have to figure out to make people comfortable and for you to be comfortable. And I think that I'm slowly getting there. I'm working well with everyone. The phone is ringing, and when I call, my calls are being answered. And I think that that is a good first step, just that line of communication being open and the swapping of ideas.
I do have to congratulate you on something.
Ah,
That $5.2 million grant to provide emergency funds for individuals in our area
yes,
who have been impacted economically because of COVID-19. Man, COVID-19 did a lot to everyone. So
yes.
talk to us about how you were able to secure that money to help your community.
Yes, yes. So the federal government announced that it was $25 billion that was going to be released, across the United States, and each state was going to get some money. So I knew Alabama will be getting some, but Madison County is the third largest county in the state, and just from our sheer size, we knew that we shouldn't get the same amount of money as say the smallest. And so I just went for it. Just our sheer size meant that there was another pot of money, or there was some money that was just for us. And being a new person, I had to make a couple of phone calls. I didn't have the information. I'm not versed in where to get everything from, but in working with different people with the county, I, called this person and got this information, and called this person and got this information, and, ran here and got signatures on this. And we brought it before the county commission, and all the commissioners voted for it. So it was about knowing that it was there and saying the money is ours. They got to give it to somebody. Might as well be Madison County, that little extra boost. And it was about just staking claim to what was ours. And here we are.
Ms. Violet, we have a number of students right now who are watching this video and they're like, Ms. Violet, I'm struggling. I'm facing hardships. What advice can you give to our students who may be facing challenges right now because of the pandemic? Let's spread some light to them.
Yeah, it is really just about not giving up. We already know that we are survivors. We already know that we can rise. So it's about perseverance. It is about just hanging in there. And there's the extra challenge of school. So right now we're just trying to survive, and then you have school on top of it as well. But I think that anybody's listening, we were built for this. And when we get through this, we will be stronger. This is one of those life lesson that things are not going to be easy. We just have to work a little harder. But I just encourage everyone to hang in there, to tap into any resource, and not to be afraid to ask for help. And if the answer is no, then find somebody else and ask them. It's just really just that not giving up to get to where you want to go.
Who inspires you to keep going? And how has Kamala Harris being our vice president now inspired you as a Black woman?
Oh, that speech when she said she would be the first but not the last. I felt that in my spirit. I felt that to my core.
Total pure.
Just knowing that, she is also, while she's been, in Washington for several years now, she is also in an unknown space, much like I am. And it's just about, breaking that ceiling and conquering those fears and being willing to walk through that door, and then turning around and holding that door open, and reaching out that hand and bringing in the next person. And that is really what it's all about. Um, when I decided to run, I called on leaders in the community that have fought a good fight for years. They have been running elections, won elections, lost elections, and I called them and asked them for their input. How do we do this? And then I turned around and I asked the young people and said, hey, you know about this computer, and you Zoom and you Snap and said, okay, so you're the future. How do we do this? And So that's just kind of where I draw my inspiration from now. I still have forefathers and great people who have done it before. And I have young people that I can call on right now that I can say, hey, I have an interview with Elijah Baker. Come make my computer work, please. You know, that's what keeps me going. That's that drive to just know that that support is out there. And I grab my inspiration from everyone around me. I just try to keep that positiveness around me and just know it's not about me.
To end this video,
Mhm.
I want to give you the floor to speak to our students one last time. Whatever's on your heart that you want to share with them to keep them going, to keep them encouraged, to remember that even though you may be the first in something, that doesn't mean you'll be the last. Go ahead. What's
I
on
would
your heart?
just say, hang in there. Somebody right now needs to hear that they have a cheerleader and that they are loved. Um, I am your cheerleader and I love you. If that's what you need to hear right now, I want you to feel that in your soul. Um, it, this is life and this is tough and we're going to get through this. And this time next year, we're going to look back and we're going to say, wow. And we are going to thank God for our many blessings. But step one is to get to tomorrow. So I just encourage everyone to keep the faith and to try to find that light. And, if you are okay right now, then you go out and you be that light and you shine for the next person. But I truly feel like with everything that's going on right now, the best is yet to come. We're in a dark place now, but I just see the brighter days ahead. And I just pray that everyone watching believes that and know that that's next for all of us.
Well, let the church. Amen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Violet. It was a pleasure.
It was nice meeting you as well, and God bless.
God bless you.